Hi, readers. Good morning. Welcome to reading mini lesson number 7, I think. Yeah. So, readers, this week we are continuing to think about our reading starting at 10:15 every morning. So, at 10:15 every morning, you'll find the mini lesson posted on Edmodo. Okay. And then after you listen to this video, and try it out with me. Then you go off and you try it out on your own while you're reading in Epic. So for today, our thinking work about our characters is going to be about character motivation. So when we think about motivation, character motivation, we think about what our character wants. So what is it that motivates our character is the same as saying, like, what is it that our character wants? And usually in our reading, our characters want something. And in the reading, they take steps to try and achieve that thing that they want. So, really important thinking work for our characters is, what do our characters want? And what are they doing? What steps are they taking to try to achieve that? So, we're going to use Winn-Dixie, and we're going to first look at the dog, Winn-Dixie. We're going to look at, what does the character of Winn-Dixie, the dog, what does he want in the story? And we're going to use the text to help us think that through, and then we'll jot our thinking down in this T-chart, okay? So first I'm just thinking, what does Winn-Dixie want? What motivates Winn-Dixie? Winn-Dixie took the mouse over to the preacher and dropped it at his feet. So this is the part in the church where Winn-Dixie's going crazy. So Winn-Dixie took the mouse over to the preacher and dropped it at his feet. And when the mouse tried to get away, Winn-Dixie put his paw right on the mouse's tail. And then he smiled up at the preacher. He showed him all his teeth. The preacher looked down at the mouse. He looked at Winn-Dixie. He looked at me. He rubbed his nose, and it got real quiet in the picket quick. "Let us pray," the preacher finally said, "for this mouse." And everybody started laughing and clapping. And the preacher picked up the mouse by the tail and walked and threw it out the front door of the picket quick. And everybody applauded again. So I'm thinking about, like, what does Winn-Dixie want when he's taking the mouse up to the preacher and dropping it off and smiling at him? I think he's motivated, that he really wants the preacher to like him. So that's what I'm going to say. I think Winn-Dixie is motivated to make the preacher like him. Like, I think Winn-Dixie wants to stay with Opal and her family. And so I think he's doing all of these things. So he takes the mouse to the preacher. He does not kill the mouse, right? It's almost like it's a present for the preacher. He does not kill the mouse. He smiles up at the preacher, right? So these are all of the steps that Winn-Dixie's taking to make the preacher like him in that scene of the book. So now we're going to try it out with a different character. We're going to think about Opal, and we're going to think about, what does Opal want? What motivates Opal? So I'm going to read another section of the text, and this was when the preacher was talking to Opal about her mom. And so we're going to think about, in this section of the text, right, what motivates Opal and what steps is Opal taking to get what she wants, okay, to achieve that. And this is again the preacher talking about her mom. "She left us," said the preacher softly. "I could see him pulling his old turtle head back into his stupid turtle shell. She packed up her bags and she left us, and she didn't leave one thing behind." "Okay," I said, and I got up off the couch. Winn-Dixie hopped off too. "Thank you for telling me," I said. I went right back to my room, and I wrote down all 10 things that the preacher had told me. I wrote them down just the way he said them to me so that I wouldn't forget them. And then I read them out loud to Winn-Dixie until I had them memorized. I wanted to know those 10 things inside and out. That way, if my mama ever came back, I could recognize her and I'd be able to grab her and hold on to her tight and not let her get away from me again. So, readers, I'm thinking right now about what Opal wants. And sometimes in the text it actually says that, right? Like there's inner thinking here from Opal where she's telling us something that she wants. She wanted to know those 10 things in and out. And so I'm going to use that and I'm going to try and think deeply about what is it that Opal really wants in this part of the text. So I'm going to pause for a minute and give you guys a second or two to try and think about that. Again, you can be jotting on paper, you can be talking with a family member about it, you can just be thinking in your head, right? What is it that in this section Opal really wants? Okay. I think Opal is motivated by getting to know her mom better. She really wants to know more about her mom and probably why her mom left. I think that's what's motivating her. That's what's making her do certain things. So what are some of the things she's doing? She asked her dad to tell her 10 things. She's writing down the 10 things. She's also still talking to Winn-Dixie about the 10 things. About the 10 things. And so I just think that all of those steps that she's taking to find out more information, to remember it, right? To write it down, to not lose it, is showing how much she wants to know more about her mom and understand her mom better. So, readers, today, as you are reading in your books on Epic, right, for 45 minutes, I want you to be thinking about what motivates your character, right? And again, we're going to be using our Google document that you can find in your classroom, okay? You will see where you can do your independent reading thinking work for, right, Tuesday, which is today, and you can think about your character and you can think about what motivates your character and what steps they're taking to achieve what they want. Okay, so go read. I'll see you guys back here at 11:30.